Hello, and welcome back to Science. We are in Science Unit 2, Lesson 1, and I wanted to go over the notes that are required of you for your daily assignment today. So the first question that you have for your notes is, what are the characteristics of the Earth's global ocean? So the first one, I want to help you out with that. What are the characteristics? It covers 3/4 of the Earth's surface. Okay, 3/4 of the Earth's surface is covered by the global ocean, and it can be more than 11 kilometers deep. So those are some of the characteristics of the Earth's global ocean. Take you on to number 2. Number 2, it says, what are the Earth's main oceans? Well, first off, we know there are 5 oceans on Earth. Okay, and then we want to be able to name them all. So we have the Pacific, Atlantic. I bet you can get them all down before even I can. Indian, Southern, and finally the Arctic. Those are the Earth's main oceans. The next question, there we go. Next question, number 3. The question is, how do dissolved salts move from land into the ocean? So there are 3 ways we want to talk about it right now. Rivers. Rivers carry salts from the earth and they drain into the ocean. So rivers can be responsible for that. Undersea volcanoes. So as they erupt in the ocean, they're going to put out minerals, and salts would be one of those. And then also we would say vents, underwater vents. So these are methods or ways in which salt enters the ocean water, and it explains the ocean's saltiness. Number 4. The question is, how does location affect ocean temperature? So, we don't really want to go swimming in the ocean up in Alaska the same as we do when we're down in the Bahamas. So the one way that location affects ocean temperature is the latitude. Latitude has an impact on the temperature of the ocean water. So those central latitudes in and around the equator are going to be a lot more pleasant in which to swim. So, number 5. Number 5 asks, what are the 3 main temperature layers of the ocean? The 3 main temperature layers of the ocean. So if we have 3 of them here, it's our little ocean. I should have done blue, huh? So here's our little ocean water. Okay. The coldest ocean water is the deep zone. The deep zone is the coldest. The next zone that would be the next warmest is the thermocline layer. And finally, the warmest one, it's not hot, but we'll call it the warmest one, is the surface zone. So those are the 3 temperature layers of the ocean. And if you've ever been swimming in ocean water or even a lake, you can feel the differences of temperature as you swim through pockets. You know, I would always call it when we're snorkeling, okay, this is a cold pocket, and a current, you know, a deeper current had flowed in. And so the colder water is kind of coming up from the bottom and the surface, and then it impacts the other layers and changes the temperatures. So currents have a lot to do with the temperature that the water is going to be, as well as these three zones. So these three zones are just kind of in general. But obviously temperature, latitude, current, weather, all of that's going to impact the overall temp of the water. Number 6. Number 6 asks, what are 2 factors that affect ocean water density? So the 2 factors that impact ocean water density are temperature and salinity. Temperature and salinity have an impact on water density. And water becomes denser due to cooling. So if you cool down the water, cool water equals more dense. Okay? And more, I don't know what color we'd say for salt. More salt equals more dense, which then increases, you know, you think about, as we're going to get to in a minute, when you are looking at, you know, studying the ocean floor and being able to research with it. We have some of those deep vessels that go and examine the bottom of the ocean, and it's so deep and, you know, cold and dense. The water is so heavy that it's not safe for researchers. So we send down remote vessels that can gather information. Number 7. Number 7 is, how do we study the ocean floor? Okay, so study the ocean floor. We talked about that in the book. There's sonar, dredging, and sonar, if you remember in the book, let's go back for a second. Sonar sends down a signal, and it's basically determining the depth by how long that signal takes to rebound and return to the surface of the water. Dredging, going in and pulling up samples of what is there to gain information. Drilling, we talked about drilling a core out of the ocean floor, that a vessel would go out there, a ship would go out there, a research vessel, and they would send down a drill and bring out a core sample from the ocean floor. And then we also mentioned vessels and satellites. Okay. And those vessels can be manned. They can be like little submersive vessels. They can be manned or they can be remote, depending on the danger of what's happening, is what kind of vessel they would use to do the research. And that's changing every single day as far as what's going on. So, hello. All right, number 8. The question is, what are the 2 main regions of the ocean floor? And the 2 main regions, if you haven't been able to find it, are the continental margin and the deep ocean basin. Those are your 2 main regions of the ocean floor. All right, and the last one, describe the features of the ocean floor. Number 9 question, describe 4 features of the ocean floor. And so you have the mid-ocean ridge. and you have trenches. Okay, these two are caused by tectonic plate movements. Tectonic plate movements by the ocean floor features. So a trench, you can imagine, would be when some of those tectonic plates pull apart and create a deep, deep, sharp canyon. A ridge is where those tectonic plates are pushing together. Okay, so pushing together here and pulling apart here. I always think of Dory from Little Mermaid. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Go over the trench, not through it, but really she should have gone through the trench. Anyway, maybe we'll have to watch Finding Nemo. Next one is the abyssal plain. The abyssal plain is a flat area covered by fine sediment. Oh my goodness, this is making a mess. Sediment. Okay, so you can imagine, you know, if you've ever walked in a sandy riverbed that's dry and it's just long and flat, and then there's this fine bit of sand or sediment that's just layering the whole section. And finally, seamounts is your other feature. And seamounts are simply submerged volcanoes. Okay? So the four features of the ocean floor, we've got the mid-ocean ridge, the trenches, the abyssal plain, and the seamounts. And that ends your notes for today for Unit 2, Lesson 1 on oceanography. So this is Earth's ocean and the ocean floor. Thanks. Have a good day.